Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture's My Life. Now, in this episode, I'm going to build on the last one because so many individuals have contacted Acupuncture's My Life globally to inquire as to why not having sex can be bad for your health. And there are many individuals, and this is around the world, not just New York City or the United States, but there have been several people that have inquired and stated that they abstain from having sex for purposes of better health. Now, many of us have our reasons for doing the many things in which we do in life, and I respect that. Totally respect that. Now, I'm going off of research and just even my learnings from being an acupuncturist, ways in which sex is good for your health. I'm not setting up a stage for debate. It's just being open. And some have explained as to why they're abstaining from it and why they feel it's beneficial for them. Now, with acupuncture, which is why I love acupuncture so much, is it's never a one-size-fits-all where everyone can wear the same shoe. That is not acupuncture. You know, everyone's different, and you're respected as such. Okay. All I'm saying is that sex, in my professional opinion, does offer some health benefits, because it causes a cascade of positive changes in your mind as well as your body. And yes, many individuals are unaware of that, because you see, sex can release some very powerful brain chemicals, and it can also help balance sex hormones. It also increases the flow of qi and blood throughout your body, which can benefit everything from both your heart and to your brain. And in the world of acupuncture, we do focus heavily on flow of qi and blood throughout the entire body, because blood can have the tendency to become static based on lifestyle, and qi can stagnate as well based on lifestyle. This includes sedentary lifestyle, eating bad foods, and so much stress. Whereas sex, and I'll talk about this later in the podcast, is great for the mental. There are tons of mental as well as emotional benefits of good sex. And sometimes it's not that obvious. But sex can make you feel happier, calmer, and if you're in love, more bonded or closer to your partner. And the quality of sex in which you're having is very important as well. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm still staying focused from the position of an acupuncturist, especially when it has a lot to do with the flow of qi and blood throughout the body. You see, because for the most part, every time you have an orgasm, there tends to be a release of like endorphins, which is a brain chemical, or these are brain chemicals rather, that are responsible for various health benefits of sex. All right. But like anything else, too much of anything is no good. And you have to keep that in mind. Because some of the health benefits, let's say, of sex can be it boosts your brain. It empowers your brain. It's good for the brain. And I've spoken of this in the last episode after having been evaluated on cognitive tests, scores, the high scores. And this is both in men and women. And men and women having sex at least once a week tend to score higher on various tests overall. And the biggest benefits presented in verbal fluency as well as memory. And this is in comparison to individuals not having sex or rarely having sex. Okay. And sex is great. It's sort of medicinal when it comes to chronic stress. And here at Acupuncture is My Life, we see this a lot. And acupuncture is great for treating a wide range of mental and emotional disorders. But right now, I want to talk about sex and how you can benefit. Because chronic stress is tied to a variation of health issues such as heart attacks and migraines. So if you reduce stress and you don't have, ready access to an acupuncturist to go in for treatment, sex is an alternative with your partner. It's a great alternative. And I know some of you wonder, why is he talking about sex? Sex is important. And when your acupuncturist is doing an intake, he or she, I'm sure, either brings it up or should bring it up. But the mental reward to having sex is measured as similar to eating comfort foods. Okay. Measured based on the response or the feedback relative to cardiovascular health, neuroendocrine responses. I mean, these tests were done measuring the benefits of sex mentally, physically, and emotionally. And a lot of this had to do with physical changes in your brain and an increase in dopamine, which is a brain chemical that can make you feel happier and in a more relaxed mood. And I've even had a patient in the past who lives too far away from my clinics and didn't really have access, he and his wife, to an acupuncturist as easy as some that live near one or work near one. And I explained to them, we discussed their sex life, and they were a little, I don't want to even reveal what was told to me, but in place of acupuncture, I explained to them just increasing the frequency of sex, good quality sex, can reduce their insomnia and help them sleep better. And I've even gotten feedback several weeks later, yes, I was right. Because many people tend to have no problems falling to sleep after good sex, immediately after. And they sleep better. And they notice the difference when they wake up the next day. They're not feeling sleepy like they previously did and thought that they had gotten a good night's sleep. And there's various ways to live in a healthy lifestyle, and that's good sex is part of that. Just like diet and exercise and other things. But especially acupuncture. It's all about your health, because the health isn't in the bank or in an investment account or cryptocurrency account. It's not your wallet. Your wealth, it's not in your purse or your pocket. It's in you. It's not in your closet. It's not under your mattress or even under the doghouse in the backyard. The wealth is in you, because health is wealth. Now, believe it or not, sex can also allow for you to feel less pain, because sex releases endorphins. Okay. And one of the best known benefits of endorphins is their ability to act as an analgesic, which reduces the perception of pain, both physically as well as emotionally. Because it possesses like these morphine-like effects. And it creates like a natural reward circuit for sex. Because these beta endorphins, let's say a hormone that's produced by your pituitary gland, it blocks the feeling of pain. And acupuncture is good for that too. When you don't want anesthesia. But that's a whole, before surgery, but that's a whole nother conversation. All right. That's another. Someone remind me to discuss that, because I'm sure now, more we're unaware of it and they're like curious now. And to many individuals' surprise, sex can also add years to your life. It can allow for you to live a longer and happier life. And this all has to do with oxytocin, which is the love hormone. It's a powerful brain chemical that tends to be released during sex. It's also released when you hug someone or you kiss them, or even when you're cuddling. Oxytocin, the hormone, provides tons of health benefits. Along with playing a part in living longer as well. Because studies do even show that individuals that have happy relationships experience a 13% reduced risk of death during a period of time in which they're happy in their relationship. Another benefit of sex is it can lower your risk of cardiovascular disease. Now, in an intense session of sex can increase your risk of heart attack in the short term, especially if you're already at risk of heart disease. But over time, a healthy sex life can potentially reduce a person's risk of cardiovascular disease. Again, it's back to the release of oxytocin, which has an anti-inflammatory effect and heart protective effects, while also helping to improve your vascular system and your metabolism. Okay, so I want you to just park that in the back of your head. You know what else I want you to do? If you're lifting something heavy, you're at work or you're in the gym or you're at home moving furniture or whatever, out changing a tire, I want you to just rest it down for a second. Whatever you're doing, I want you to stop. If you're lifting something heavy, rest it down. If you're operating a vehicle, pull over to the side of the road. If you're in a helicopter or airplane, land at your nearest airport. If you cannot operate, matter of fact, just land at the nearest airport. And if you're crossing the street, hurry up and safely get across the street. Because I need you to close your eyes right now, and I need you to say to yourself, acupuncture is my life. And now open them. Boom. You are now brand new. And brand new you are. Now, guess what else sex, you know what? I tout exercise a lot in many of my podcasts. And you know, sex is sort of, it can be considered exercise. Think about it. A nice, moderate, active or moderately active 24-minute sex session tends to burn more calories than you think. Think about when you're done, you feel tired. You know, that's why you could sleep easy right after. But you feel tired because you had a nice workout more times than not. And it also fortifies your mental health because sex tends to flood your brain with serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that affects a person's mood. And it's actually the orgasm that tends to boost a person's mood. And speaking of boost, sex can boost your immune health. Just having sex once a week can increase the amount of T helper cells in your blood compared to those that aren't having sex. Having sex can boost a person's self-esteem. Of course, because it's showing that you're desired, which has a lot to do with self-esteem. Making you feel happier with your body, your self-image overall, and more. But I'm sure many of you are going to have even more questions and want to respond to this episode just like last. Fine. That's fine. But I'm only going to ask you to do one thing. And that is make acupuncture a part of your life. Okay? Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?